The static started in my ears, but soon, it manifested in the air around me. It wasn't the sound of a detuned radio, it was a granular, visual distortion, like the world was being rendered in lower and lower resolution. I first noticed it when I looked at my reflection in the hallway mirror. My face was blurry, lacking the sharp definition of pores and eyelashes. When I blinked, the image lagged, trailing a ghostly, shimmering aftershadow for a fraction of a second. I reached out to touch the glass, but my hand felt thin. Not physically weak, but lacking depth. As if I were becoming two-dimensional, a mere projection onto the surface of the world. I ran into the kitchen to find my wife, hoping the terror was just a migraine, some neurological glitch. I found her sitting at the table, staring at a plate of toast. But she wasn't chewing. She was frozen in a loop, a micro-expression of mild surprise, flickering every 3 seconds. "Sarah!" I shouted, grabbing her shoulder. My hand didn't meet resistance. It passed through her shoulder as if she were made of smoke. There was no warmth, no solidity, just a faint scent of ozone and the sound of a stuttering digital glitch. She didn't turn. She simply repeated her 3-second loop, her face pixelating into blocks of color whenever she hit the apex of her expression. I realized then that the house, the neighborhood, perhaps the entire city, was running out of processing power. The world was failing to render reality. The textures in the room began to strip away. The wallpaper, a floral pattern I had hated for years, vanished, leaving behind a stark, gray void. The floorboards beneath my feet stopped existing as wood and became a flat, featureless plane of static. I looked down at my own body. My clothes had lost their detail, becoming flat textures of blue and gray. My hands were fading, the lines of my palms smoothing out into nothingness. I tried to scream, but the sound didn't travel. It just hung in the air as a text box of garbled symbols. I was losing my coherence. I wasn't dying, I was being deleted. The universe was clearing its cache, and I was just unwanted background data. I scrambled toward the front door, desperate to find someone, anyone, who was still rendered in high definition. But the doorway opened into nothing. Beyond the frame lay only infinite, shifting geometric shapes and blinding white noise. I fell to my knees, or what used to be my knees, as the floor beneath me ceased to be solid. I was floating in a vacuum of thinning reality. The last thing I saw was the house dissolving into code, and finally, my own consciousness flickering, waiting for a refresh that would never come.